Hey up YouTube, what's going on? AmazingChi here, bringing you the Week 2 team builder for Newcrustle United here in PPL Division 2 Season number 4. Right, so we picked up that nice, lovely 2-0 win, spoilers if you haven't watched it yet, against Kyle in Week 1 now. Our first ever Week 1 win in the PPL history, which is kind of neat. But, another week, another opponent, so we can't sort of celebrate that win any longer now. We need to turn full attention to the next battle. And yeah, Carson's team is very varied and actually really quite annoying to prep for, if I'm honest. I've had a bit of trouble trying to prep for this team because I'm not 100% certain what's actually going to turn up here. But Carson's team, the Chicago Bewears, is Mega Charizard X, Scizor, Melodic Decidui, Jolteon, Hitmontop, Omastar, Bravery, Gardevoir, Sneasel, and Steelix. Now, that Mega Charizard Scizor Melodic is going to be difficult to break, and I can see that's already going to be a starting problem. And the Decidui is there just to be generally annoying, maybe pass some boosts around. Jolteon, probably, maybe, I don't know, for Skarmory more than anything, I guess. And that Tentacle will be helpful against Tentacle because he doesn't have a great deal for that either. Actually, yeah, looking at it, Gardevoir is slower, so unless you Scarf Gardevoir. And Steelix is obviously way slower and is weak to the water. So actually he doesn't have anything really for Tentacle now, look at this. So he probably has to bring Jolteon for Tentacle and Skarmory more than anything. Decidui, of course. But Decidui is also slower and doesn't want to take an Ice Beam to the face. So yeah, Jolteon probably has to come for Skarmory and Tentacle more than anything else. Obviously Megazord gets Earthquake, so that could be a thing. Yeah, so that probably Jolteon's coming. Megazord's coming. That's not even a question. Scizor, I think Scizzor's definitely coming. Melodic's definitely coming. Gardevoir is coming, and I suspect Scarf. Gardevoir, if I'm honest. But I think he has to definitely bring Jolteon. I think he has to bring Hitmontop to keep those hazards away because I do have plenty of decent hazard setters, and I have enough Rapid Spin users that means he would have to not rely on me defogging the hazards away from his side of the field as well. So I think he kind of has to bring Hitmontop for spin purposes because I don't think Omastar is going to be doing that here. So I think he kind of has to bring Hitmontop for spin purposes, make sure that Charizard is as healthy as possible, especially that Jolteon if it's going to be Volt switching around a bit. Keep those things around, especially Scarf Gardevoir as well, if that's Scarf Gardevoir. So I think Hitmontop kind of has to come for that role more than anything, which kind of means I don't think Decidui is coming. But like I said, his team is so weird and varied that he could genuinely bring anything. I think basically the only two things I'm not expecting are Omastar and Bravery. I think they're the only two things I'm not expecting at all. And I mean, there's still a chance he could bring Bravery, but definitely not bringing Omastar, and I don't think he's going to be bringing Bravery. There's a chance he's going to bring Steelix, but for like to take on the Florges maybe a little bit, but he has Scizor for that purpose, so I don't really see the purpose of Steelix. Yeah, it's a ground type, and it kind of basically can do can't really do anything to Electros because obviously Electros is ground immune and resists the steel, so it can't really do anything to Electros now. And yeah, I think that's what it's going to be: Megazord, Scizor, Melodic, Jolteon, Hitmontop, and Gardevoir. That's my prediction. I think it's going to be Scarf Gardevoir. And obviously Dragon Dance Charizard. Spinning Hitmontop. Fast, powerful Jolteon probably. Maybe Specs, maybe Expert Belt, maybe Zap Plate, something like that. Some offensive item I'm suspecting. Just to try and take down that Skarmory as best he can. And the Tentacle for that matter. And then Melodic and Scizor could be bulky in either direction. I don't know which way, but I suspect they'd be bulky but in one direction or another, and potential Source Dance Scizor as well. That's what I'm kind of predicting. But for my team for this is I'm just going to try and bait the fact that he's not. I'm just going to ignore the fact he's probably bringing Jolteon and just go straight for Kyran Black. Kyran Black, Dragon Pulse, Earth Power, Fusion Bolt, Ice Beam, much the same as last week, but I kind of fear getting locked into Dragon Move a little bit more, so I don't want to get that -2 Draco Media situation going on here. And basically that, and obviously with it being Scarfed again, I don't want to get locked into Dragon Moves at all, because Gardevoir, Dragon Pulse is only there just because I needed a Force move more than anything, and it's Stab. But Earth Power, Fusion Bolt, and Ice Beam going the specially offensive route again because his team doesn't enjoy Ice Beam really. Fusion Bolt, even with this setup, is enough to 2-hit KO fully defensive Melodic. So that's good news. Even burned, I think it's enough to 2-hit KO a burned Melodic, so that's good news as well. So yeah, Earth Power basically there for coverage more than anything. His team doesn't really appreciate ground either, so it means I don't need to get locked into Dragon Pulse, and I can Earth Power the Charizard if it is unboosted at that point. Obviously, +1 Charizard does outspeed if he has enough investment to outspeed, of course. So I basically didn't bother trying to outspeed that at all. I've just gone 244 speed, which is enough to deal with Gardevoir. Enough to outspeed a Scarf Gardevoir, basically, that 244 there. On the non-plus nature. I think I just decided to make it was enough to Scarf Melodic in case you want to be really weird. But considering Melodic is only 1 speed base stat higher than Gardevoir, I figured that was an easy enough trade-off for that. So yeah, 244 speed, 2452 plus special attack, and then 4 and all the remaining things, just because it gives me the odd number HP, and then obviously I have 8 left over, so I need to split those 4 into 2 sets of 4 into the remaining 2. That's basically Karen Black. Florges, even though it does have 2 steel types, I was kind of baited, like, I figured I could bring this in on a Florges, especially if it's scarfed into, you know, like a Moonblast or, you know, Psychic or something that isn't really going to be hurting too much. I could sort of set up the Carmines on that. He brings in Scizor. I have a Berry. I kill it with Hidden Power Fire. That's basically the plan for that. And then his team can't really handle Florges. He would kind of be forced to go into Charizard and Flare Blitz me at that point. So, and that would get Charizard down, and that's kind of my plan. It's kind of a little bit of a sacrificial baity Florges in that mind in terms of the game plan that I'm suspecting will happen. Also, I can bring this in on Hitmontop and set up on that as much as I like. It does have Bullet Punch, but it's not doing it. It does have Bullet Punch, which is obviously a minor issue, but I don't suspect he will stay in on it either. So I'd be able to get one Carmine up for free, and then I can kill the Scizor, basically with a +1 Hidden Power Fire. I think that does enough anyway. I think it does enough. I think it definitely does enough to uninvested. Maybe HP invested defensive one, not enough, and definitely not Spadef invested one. I need to get to +2 on that. But other than that, I think we're good. And next up is 252 HP, 220 defense, just to take that as much as possible. And then I just put the remaining 32 with a plus nature in Spatak. Basically, this means I don't get killed by an unboosted Adamant Flare Blitz, I think it was. There was a reason for only needing 220. I think that was it. I think I still died. I still died to Bavaria Berry plus Bavaria Buried Bullet Punch on a 252 attack. Scizor, so I don't think didn't really need the full defense for that because I'm just dying anyway. So this was enough, and I needed that plus attack nature to do enough damage back to it, and I think the plus attack nature allows me to actually 2-hit KO Charizard with Moonblast as well once I'm at +1 myself. So it means I just get as much damage off as I can in that situation. Like I said, it's more of a sacrificial baity Carmine set than an actual intend to sweep Carmine set. Crocodile is Rocky Helmet, Intimidate to take on that Charizard X as best as possible, knock off Earthquake, Fire Fang, and Stone Edge. 252 defense, 252 HP, but with the plus attack nature because the attack nature is obviously its highest stat. This allows me to kill the Charizard, but whilst not dying to Charizard as best as possible. I take less than 50% from a Dragon Claw. Obviously I take more from a Flare Blitz, but I take less than 50% from a Dragon Claw with this situation, and I obviously straight up kill it. So if he goes for Flare Blitz, if he goes for Flare Blitz on this, he dies because Rocky Helmet, Flare Blitz, then just Earthquake kills it. If he goes for Dragon Claw, then Rocky Helmet, Earthquake definitely kills it. So this situation basically means I don't even need to have Rocks up, I don't even need the 25%. Rocky Helmet plus Earthquake kills it no matter what move it goes for, even at +1. Obviously, if he goes +1, I bring this in, he's back to neutral. That's basically the plan for this. If he goes to +2, I still take a Flare Blitz, I think, and then Dragon Claw does about 60-70%. So, Rocky Helmet plus Earthquake kills, regardless what he wants to do there. So he is forced to switch out. If I bring Crocodile in on it fresh, I can still switch it in on a Flare Blitz as well. because then the Rocky Helmet Flare Blitz damage does stuff, and then you would have to forcibly go for Dragon Claw, and that may not kill. And then again, more Rocky Helmet damage. So we would essentially be forced to roost if I switch this in more than anything, and then I can Earthquake it, and it dies anyway, so he would be forced to switch out or face death in that situation. And then we can move on to Electros, which is U-Turn, Thunder Punch, Dragon Claw, and Flamethrower. 244 HP, 220 plus attack, and then 44 in defense. 220 plus is enough to 2-hit KO Melodic, so that's all I needed. The most defensive it could possibly be. Melodic, that's all I needed for that. And so basically I just put the rest in defense. It's enough to 2-hit KO with Dragon Claw as well. I don't need any more than that. I figured because I could take any one hit, the 44 in defense actually allows it to be a 50-50 on a, I think it's a +1. I think it's just +1 Flare Blitz. I think I can take uninvested, fine, but +1 Flare Blitz, that's enough for me to take make it a 50-50 on +1 Flare Blitz. I take a Dragon Claw, fine, but yeah, then I can Dragon Claw myself and do as much damage as I can to it. Flamethrower for Scissor, obviously. Thunder Punch for the things like Melodic, and U-Turn. I'm not sure why I went U-Turn here now. In hindsight, looking at this now, because obviously everything's all gemmed and fine, all sorted out, but I'm not sure why I went U-Turn over Volt Switch, because I don't really think Steelix is coming here, but yeah, U-Turn's on there over Volt Switch. I don't know why, because I think it's because I was more setting up physically offensive here than specially offensive, and but U-Turn doesn't really do a great deal to his team, so I kind of wish I was Volt Switch here rather than that, but never mind, we move on now. I said it was plus attack nature, it's minus speed, just because nothing fell in the wheelhouse. So it meant I needed to go with minus defense nature. So he had nothing in that gap because it goes all the way down to Steelix on 30 speed, which doesn't outspeed anyway, even on the minus speed nature. So I get away with this minus speed nature here. Delphox is modest, 252, 180 speed, 4 defense, and 72 HP. Now, I'm just trying to remember what... I think there was a reason why I undersped. Oh yeah, there was a reason why I undersped the Charizard the first time around, but then I just realised I forgot to change the EVs once I changed it back. When I changed the move, because I was originally running Foul Play set, and then I found out the Psychic actually did do more than Foul Play anyway, even at +1 Charizard. For some reason, I don't understand that. I don't understand why that did so little, the Foul Play, to even +1 Charizard, but oh well. Because I was expecting to do way more, but Psychic does over 50% anyway. But I was planning to underspeed 0 speed Charizard, so you get the +1 Dragon Dance off first. So we would get the Dragon Dance off first, and then I Foul Play and do 50%. But then I obviously changed that afterwards. But it doesn't really matter anyway, because he's gonna try and Dragon Dance on this anyhow. But Psychic does over 50%. Flamethrower is enough. Flamethrower is enough. Fire Butt runs through his entire team, so Flamethrower is enough. I don't need to really risk the Fire Blast on this. And Blaze ability because I am a Gracium Z, which means I can't lose my item, so there's no need for Magician here. So I have to be Gracium Z. I kind of wish like your Z Crystal disappeared once you used it, like a gem, but it's still there. So I wish I could like steal an item off one of the opponents, so I could steal like a leftovers or something. But no, Blaze. I have to be Blaze here for that reason. Substitute. The plan here is to bring this in on Scissor, and then it's forced to switch out because it's a Scissor. I click Substitute. He presumably brings in like Charizard or Melodic here. I get to Grass Knot that once, and then I Bloom Doom it the second time, or Bloom Doom it the first time, and give massive damage, and then Grass Knot it to finish it off. And then Psychic does 50% to a Charizard, so if I'm stopped up on the Charizard, then I do 50% with the first one, and then he's basically forced to attack me, and then I can kill it with the second Psychic. So basically that's the plan here. I try and keep my sub up as best as I can. Obviously, if he brings in Melodic, I can Grass Knot it. It does about 50, just under 50%, and then the Bloom Doom will finish it off. So either way, he's kind of forced to switch out whatever he brings in to break the sub, or let it die. So that's the plan for Delphox here. It's pretty much guaranteed to get a kill, this Delphox, hopefully, if I don't misplay with it. And then finally we have the Premier switch in to Charizard X, and that is Boldor. Yep, Boldor. Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Stone Age, Explosion. Earthquake's just there, really. I don't really need a fourth move on it. Stealth Rock, Stone Edge, and Explosion is enough. Basically, if I don't need to risk the Stone Edge miss, I can just click Earthquake, I guess. That's basically the only reason for Earthquake being there. Sturdy, Eviolite, 252 HP, 252 attack, but with a plus defense nature. I basically don't get 4, like even with this setup with plus, with uninvested Charizard, unboosted Charizard, I don't get, I think it's still a 5-hit KO against Boldor, which is absurd. At the very least, a 4-hit KO. But I just straight up kill with Stone Edge. The reason for the 252 attack is because then Stone Edge kills guaranteed. So that's why I decided to go with the attack with just plus defense nature rather than the 252 plus defense. Because I don't need that to completely wall it, basically. Completely walls any other physical thing. I actually do more damage to Scissor than Scissor does to me with Bullet Punch, with Stone Edge, which is also amusing with this setup. And yeah, I think even Iron Head does less than Stone Edge in this situation, so I do actually... If Scissor doesn't get a Swords Dance off of me, I actually do more damage to Scissor than Scissor does to me, and which is kind of amusing. I don't die to a Scold either, which is important to note, and I don't die to anything that Gardevoir can do. So if Gardevoir comes in thinking obviously you can exploit my Spadef, if I have over about 80% health, I think it is, I can still tank a Moonblast or a Psychic, and I kill it with Explosion. Melodic is a little bit more risky, obviously, because the Scald is super effective, but it still only does about 70%, and Explosion won't kill if it's a defensive one, but I can do massive damage off and then bring in, like, say, Delphox or Electros and finish it off in that situation. So essentially Boldor is almost guaranteed to get a kill here. Almost, I feel. Or at the very least, almost guaranteed to do work in this match. So yeah, that's the team. We have Scarf Kyurem because basically I had no other reason to... I had nothing else I could Scarf really at this point. Could have gone Scarf Group, I guess, but yeah. Even with this setup, I could have gone Scarf Group, I guess, but you know, Scarf Kyurem, Bibiberry, Florges, Rocky Helmet, Karukadar, Solvest, Electros, Gracium, Z, Delphox, and the Eviolite, of course, Boldor there. That's my team against Carson. I hope you join me for the battle tomorrow. But for now, I've been AmazingChi, you've been amazing too. I will see you again very, very soon. Ta-ra.